What is going on, guys? This is the top stocks to watch for the week of October 3rd. Let us get right into this video. All right, guys, we have quite a bit of news in this upcoming week, starting off our week with ISM Manufacturing PMI on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Moving into Tuesday, we have JOLTS job openings again at 10 a.m., so both of Monday and Tuesday news are during market hours. Wednesday, all-day OPEC meetings, 8:15 a.m. ADP non-farm employment change, and 10 a.m. ISM services PMI. So keep your eye out on pre-market and 10 a.m. on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. No news Thursday, and Friday we have our average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, and unemployment rate. As it is the first Friday of the month, that is our NFP day. So keep your eye out on pretty much every day except for Thursday. And as you can see on screen right now is your earnings in the S&P 500 for this upcoming week as well. All right, everybody, we have had quite the week recently, guys. We have made new yearly lows on SPY and QQQ, and we are following suit on a lot of our other names. I have a lot of reason to believe Apple is going to see new yearly lows soon. After we finished this very impulsive wave to the upside, we are starting an equally impulsive wave to the downside on the higher time frames. Moving down into our 1 hour chart, you will see, if you're a fan of Elliott wave theory, an Elliottician, if you will, we have a very clear 5-wave move to the downside here. And now what we are looking for is essentially a pullback and one more continuation to the downside before we have a larger correction and then another move to the downside. A lot of the names that we're going to talk about this week, we're going to be expecting some kind of retracement coming soon, just because we have been so overextended to the downside. We need to see a bounce, but overall, definitely still maintaining bearish, guys. You and I, the people who view this channel, we've been bearish for a while, and so far we've been able to accurately call out the market for months on end. So I hope you guys are utilizing this to the full efficiency and keeping an eye out on these plays. BABA, we called this out prior. Beautiful trade that worked out. Now, I'm expecting BABA to continue, but we are maintaining some support at $78. Overall, I'm expecting a return to $73. And if you are a fan of Chinese stocks, I think the $83 mark down to $73 mark, $73 mark in general, will be a beautiful time to look for entries. That is currently our yearly low. Moving over to NVIDIA, the semiconductors have been experiencing straight death and capitulation recently. Very similar to Apple, a 5-wave impulse move to the downside. The wave 5 is not done yet, meaning this wave that we're in here is not yet complete, just like on Apple. So overall, expecting a push higher, maybe early to middle part of this next week, followed by one more push to the downside. Let's just draw this out for you guys. One more push to the downside, followed by a larger correction before another dump. I am definitely still expecting a dump on NVIDIA and QQQ. That is mainly because I think that QQQ is coming much lower. And if you're curious on where I think QQQ is coming, I am happy to give you that level. I believe now that we broke yearly lows, we are due for a 1.272 extension. So QQQ, that brings us to 240. And you'll notice on SPY, that brings us down to 335 to 325 as our Fibonacci cluster. My apologies. So definitely keeping an eye on that. Coming back to QQQ for a second, we have been able to very clearly count our Elliott wave counts this entire time. We had an ABC move here, and we are now very much, it's the same exact thing as Apple, guys, and NVIDIA. We're in a 5-wave move to the downside, but wave 5 is not yet complete. So we're keeping a close eye on that. Just keeping an eye on corrective patterns, I think, will be very, very beneficial for you guys. Again, looking for an early to midweek bounce, followed by another push to the downside, followed by a correction before we continue down to that level of, what was that level? Just bringing it back up here, 240 flat. So looking at a move down to 240 in the coming weeks and months. SPY, same situation. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but we're looking for the bottom of wave 3. We're then expecting a push higher for wave 4, and again, another dump for wave 5. It seems like the same thing on a lot of different names this week, guys, because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of names break new yearly lows. We're seeing a lot of names having the same Elliott wave counts. So we're going to look to play these pretty much the same because they're all presenting the same pattern, which is continuations to the downside. You can act on whatever you would like to act on in terms of actionable entries based on your strategy or based on entries that we call out here. Overall, definitely looking for a continuation of the downside, but perhaps we see a little bit of blood in the beginning of this week. Overall, definitely looking for a bounce. I don't think this week, Monday, is going to open up very well because Bitcoin has had a very bloody weekend as of this time of this recording. So keeping an eye on some downside in the early part of next week. But overall, again, expecting a bounce, expecting a continuation of the downside on SPY to 335 to 325. And if we decide to move much lower, there is a 1.618 extension at 305. Moving over on Tesla. Tesla is probably the best actionable trade that we have right now. Coming up to the daily chart, you'll be able to see this a little bit more clearly. We're looking at a 5-wave move to the upside, as you can see I have labeled here. Then, on the end of this last week, we invalidated that 5-wave move to the upside. That is because we broke back into the price territory of wave 1, so now I'm expecting us to make new yearly lows on Tesla beneath 207, potentially back down to the 190 range, 185 range. So, keeping a very, very close eye on that. Tesla obviously did very, very well up into their stock split, and after a stock split happens, we know that it is likely to continue its trend, which Tesla would be continuing its trend to the downside. So looking for that to happen. As of right now, we are still using the 264 level as support, but I think that that will change. Once we break this level of 261 flat, I will be looking for long-dated puts to get into Tesla. And you could even potentially get shorter-dated puts intra-week because I do think Tesla will continue to the downside into their earnings in the middle of October. So this will probably be the last week that I talk about oil. We've been talking about oil for months on end, looking for a move to the downside, which we have gotten, and I probably will stop bringing it up now. But overall, still expecting this move to happen. I'm expecting oil to return to the $65 range. This is, again, crude oil, not oil at the gas station, but it is crude oil. So I'm expecting to move down to $65, and I'm sure you're able to see this play. Even if you weren't able to capitalize it on our financial markets, I'm sure you were able to buy some cheaper gas recently at the pumps. So everybody, that was our top stocks to watch for the week of October 3rd. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. As always, I will see you in the next video. If you guys have any video recommendations for anything we can cover on this channel, please let me know in the comments. We're looking for those. We're looking to add more content to this channel, and we would love to hear from you. See you in the next video.